Ben here, getting ready to head to MSP Kitchenery. We're gonna meet with John, the owner. He and his wife, Nicolette, opened up MSP Kitchenery in 2019. They've since opened up 3 locations. We're checking out their Hopkins location. So let's hit the road and see what it's like. In this tour, John talks about how food entrepreneurs have space to grow up to $500,000 or even $1 million in revenue at MSP Kitchenery. We talk about cash flow management and how the way they structure things can help, and how accessible food entrepreneurship is. So stick around for all that and much more. We've arrived here at MSP Kitchenery in Hopkins, Minnesota. This blue building, it's on this road, pretty quiet, got some industrial stuff going on. Looks like there's a warehouse over there, but we're just parked here right on the street in front. And we're gonna go meet with John, who's gonna give us a tour, so let's go check it out. Hey! Hey, John. Good to see you too.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Yeah. So everyone, this is John. John's the owner, along with his wife, Nicolette, MSP Kitchenery. This is their 3rd location.
Yes, sir.
Started in 2019.
2019, you're exactly right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're really excited to be meeting with you again, and really excited to check out MSP Kitchenery and to show food entrepreneurs out there what it's like to work in a commercial kitchen.
Awesome, Ben. Thank you for coming. We'll show you right now.
Okay, sounds good.
So I'll show you. First thing that we do is we really try to leverage technology as much as possible and make it as seamless for the entrepreneur. It all comes down to one thing, and making that entrepreneur successful is what we're all about. And so our kitchens operate 24/7, 365. You access our kitchens through a mobile app right on your phone. You just simply hit a button, and it will let us right on in.
That is super slick.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
And we'll go off to the right here first. There's a couple parts of the kitchen that I'll show you guys. We've got a group in here working right now. Ed
Awesome.
and Caitlin, they own Bao ones.
Hey, guys.
Yep. And so right here's one side of the kitchen. So here we've got different types of equipment like stock pot burner, a fryer, 6 burner, tilt skillet, a double stack oven.
Awesome.
And then over on this side, show you a little bit more. We got our 3-compartment sink, our hand washing sink, our prep sink was back there. We have a 60-quart mixer, a 20-quart mixer. And all this stuff is shared and used amongst the entrepreneurs here.
That's awesome. Lots of really good equipment.
We also have a walk-in cooler. So here's one of our walk-in coolers. And this is used primarily for day out type usage.
Cool.
And then we facilitate if people want to do pop-ups with their concept and they want to get their name out there. Mm-hmm. We have this right here where people can just simply pull up on the side of the building. People put up a little pop-up signs, and people would stop in and pick up their to-go orders as well for pop-ups.
Oh, awesome.
So we have a design to do that as well to help our entrepreneurs.
That's sweet.
Yep, get noticed in the marketplace. There's a lot of collaborations that occur amongst other entrepreneurs throughout the ecosystem to try to drive, that value creation. Yeah, here's another part of the kitchen. And so this is all set up with different zones. Like right there, you've got another 3-compartment sink. You've got a 60-quart whole-burnt mixer. And each one has different zones. Like there's zone X, zone W, zone B, U, T, etc.
Yeah.
And so people can spread out, look many different zones. But when they come in here, they assign all on the internet, an online app. They select, I want the whole-burnt mixer for X amount of hours. I want zone W. And then that's their dedicated space. Cool. So they know months in advance that they can do production and not have to worry about that space having someone else there.
That is awesome. I imagine in a lot of other commercial kitchens, entrepreneurs will show up and someone will be in the space that they're planning to use.
You're exactly right.
You got that figured out all online.
What it is it's all online, all seamless, and frictionless for all of our entrepreneurs.
Cool.
So when people come here, they know, to your point, Ben, that they don't have to worry about any unneeded drama of any kind. Yeah. Everything is set up. Everything is set up for them to just come in and produce whatever products they're looking to produce. Yep. We also have cooler space and freezer space. So this is kind of like our walk-in freezer right here.
Cool.
So we got a walk-in freezer.
Nice.
We deal a lot with ice cream makers and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so we have a new freezer unit that we put in, and a rooftop unit as well, condensers and whatnot. And then we've got another walk-in cooler right behind here as well. And everyone can rent their own space, their dedicated space, for whatever they're doing.
Awesome. Lots of space and different amenities for the food entrepreneur.
You're exactly right. Yep. And we help you scale, so you can come to us with an idea. Another walk-in cooler as well,
Cool.
brand new. But you can scale. You can start with an idea, and what we do is we really help incubate folks. Start with an idea, and at first it's just an idea on a piece of paper. Next thing you know, you're selling it to friends and family. Then you're doing pop-up markets or farmers markets. Then you're getting into grocery, etc. But it really starts from concept all the way up to $500 to $1 million in sales. At that point, what we find with our entrepreneur ecosystem is then they move on to another kitchen of some or facility of some kind, and typically they're acquiring their own.
Cool. Okay. So up to $5 million in sales.
No, about 1 million. Sorry,
Oh,
my fault.
Up to $1 million.
About $1 million. Yep.
That's still a nice amount of growth that an entrepreneur can do with MSP Kitchenery.
You're exactly right. It gives them that scale, it proves out the concept, gives them the real numbers that they can go to banking and financial institutions to show that they have a actual viable idea and get that funding.
Cool. So proof of concept, is there any type of revenue requirements you're looking for from food entrepreneurs that are looking to come to you for commercial kitchen needs?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No. So literally just starting with on a napkin, and we make it very cost effective for them to be able to try their dream and see how it goes.
Cool. That's amazing.
And what it does is it really protects the entrepreneur. Again, it all comes down to that entrepreneur, and really protects them from a capital perspective, where they're not having to lease up a facility, they're not having to really put their neck out too much by any means, and risk their capital. So if their idea doesn't work out, the worst case scenario is a very soft landing in using a facility like this versus all the other things that they might hit if it didn't work out in a different manner.
Totally. So what are you looking for from people who come to you and say, hey, I've got a concept, I want to start making product? What signs do you look for that show that they're ready to get into MSP Kitchenery?
It's a great question. And so what we do is we have a 10-step process on our website that shows everyone exactly with hot links on where to go to be able to answer their questions. So they have to be curious enough and intuitive enough to be able to do that work. So that's one of the main things. The second real kind of hurdle that we have is people need to have their Certified Food Protection Managers designation. And they have to take ServSafe, but above and beyond that, they actually have to have their Certified Food Protection Managers certificate in the state of Minnesota. Once people have done that, it shows that now it's kind of, I'm actually investing my time, my energy. Once they get to that point, I'm ready to have a conversation with them. And so I help them with the insurance, I help them pointing in the right direction through the different ecosystems of the health departments, be that Minnesota Department of Health, be that the county organization or the Minnesota Department of Agriculture. We're here to help steward them to the right contacts to get all of their questions answered. Once that's done, they're off to the races. So really it just comes down to initiative and someone that wants to be curious enough to read and figure out, okay, these are the steps I need to do. And then the big hurdle is that if that was to be a hurdle, is getting their Certified Food Protection Manager.
Gotcha. So that makes it sound really accessible to become a food entrepreneur.
It's very accessible. Yeah, and that's what we do. We try to make it so anyone that wants to do something, if they have a little bit of initiative, can try it. And some people will work out great, some people won't work out at all, but at the end of the day, they're never going to have to wonder what if.
Cool. Yeah. So people say that one of the biggest regrets people have is not what they did, but what they didn't do.
Right.
You're making it so that people can explore their entrepreneurial dreams and not have that as a regret later in their life.
100%.
Cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
And then we do cool stuff like I'll show you a little bit more. Other dry storage. One thing you will notice also in this technical type environment is I have cameras everywhere. So if you look kind of around the room, you'll see these cameras with them. And that's, to make sure everyone, it's a trust and verifying the kitchens.
Yep.
So we trust everyone that comes into our kitchens, but we verify exactly what's occurring with the camera system. We don't allow drama of any kind. We want a conducive, all-inclusive type model here where people can come, they can collaborate. All these folks have different backgrounds, different stories, different situations, and putting them all together in a space, it unleashes more creativity from the other entrepreneurs as well. And so everyone's learning from each other, everyone's gaining from each other, and that's actually the magic of the whole thing. Anyone can buy a facility and put a few coolers up, but really it's curating and getting the right folks into an ecosystem that will all help each other. That's not the easy thing.
Yeah. Would you say that's one of the things that makes MSP Kitchenery unique from other commercial kitchens?
I would say a couple things, right? One, I think it is definitely a huge advantage for us. I would say the biggest advantage, though, is my wife has a business called Nicolette's Macarons. So we're actually in the food space as well. So we're not just, an organization that happens to have a kitchen. We're in it every day. We're at the shows. We're at the different events. We're in the ecosystem as well. And so we have more empathy and understanding and compassion for the food entrepreneur because we understand how hard it is and we understand how much fun it can be too.
That's awesome.
And so that's probably a bigger difference.
Cool. That's awesome. Those are huge differentiators. I got some more questions. You're answering a ton of them. I got them right here.
Absolutely.
I just thought these would be some questions that would be helpful for prospective or budding entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got the sign-in process. It's super simple. You got an app.
An app.
Lets you in.
Lets you in.
And
you book online.
Okay.
So it's all online booking by zone. So you have the different zones, right, in the kitchen, all identified. These aren't, but if you have it on the tables where it says the 3 middle tables, the 3 tables closest to the sink, etc. And then what you do is you book that, and you can book that 6 months in advance.
Wow.
And now you know that that's your real estate. Mm-hmm. So for those amount of hours that you need, or days that you need, or whatever you need, you know that that's yours. And everyone knows that it's yours. And it's a scheduling system as well as an auto billing system. So what we do is entrepreneurs are typically constrained on capital. And it's one of the biggest hurdles that they have. And so no one wants to have a bill at the end of the month and not be able to afford it. So what we do is we have a billing system where they pay as they use it. So they come in and they use it for 4 hours a day. That would settle up at midnight from their account. They don't have to worry about a big bill at the end of the month. It's pay as you go. And my theory is if you're utilizing, if you're creating things, whatever those things are in the food ecosystem, that means you're probably selling them when you're creating them or coming very close to that cash.
Yeah.
And so the thing is I collect that the day that they utilize the space. Now, if they don't use the space at all, then they don't have to worry. They don't have to worry about that bill. If they start using the space more and more and more, that means they're growing, which is fantastic, which is what we all want. But the thing is they're not under that additional stress to have to make X amount of dollars in a month to be able to afford that big lease payment, or that electricity bill, or the heating bill, or the furnace just went up. All that is shouldered by MSP Kitchenery.
At MSP Kitchenery, people can license space on an hourly basis.
Yep.
And one way that entrepreneurs could view that is it helps them with cash flow management.
It's huge. You're exactly right, man. You're spot on. It's all about cash flow. And so, you don't know when your big break is going to happen. You don't know when that order is going to take off or you're going to become viral. No one has any idea. But the neat thing about how the model is here is that when that happens, you have capacity.
Yeah.
And you don't know how long it will take to really catch on. So that might take a month, that might take 6 months, but the nice thing is you're not, stressing it.
Nice. So someone's first day, they've talked with you, they've gone through the 10 steps, they're a good fit for MSP Kitchenery. What can they expect?
Yeah, so how it works is we do a tutorial, so we walk everyone through. So we send the app, we set up a time, then we walk them through all the different nuances of the kitchen. Where the cleaning supplies are, we provide all the cleaning supplies, the towels, etc. How to use different types of equipment, so we'll walk them through that as well. Make sure that everyone is 100% comfortable and understands all that's expected of them. Mm-hmm. And then we turn the keys over. Then it's trust. And so then what happens is if they want to come in, like I said, at 2 in the morning, they can. If they want to come in the very next day or that day, they can. It's very entrepreneur focused. It's all about the entrepreneur.
Cool. That sounds fantastic. We went through the equipment. You have a ton of equipment. Everything from Hobart mixers, ovens, stovetops, tons of counter space, freezers, coolers. Anything else that we should point out that?
I do think so.
Okay,
Let me
cool.
show you, Ben,
Yeah.
a little bit more of the tour. So I put this hood system in more. What we really do is we have both what's called 3-phase and single-phase electric as well.
Yeah.
So what we're able to do is really have this reconfigured on what people need. So when they start with me, it's an idea, but then what often happens is they want to get automation equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And so I need X or Y. So this is a 3-phase and a single-phase electric building. So we also help them, store their other machines that they might use as well. And so
okay, cool.
As they grow, especially as they get in that higher end of that revenue element, it's not all done by hand. Typically it goes to machines once you get to a certain threshold. We're here to support that too. And so this is one of the ways. These are electric cart reels, so they come down and you don't have to use them all. You can plug in anything that you wish. And all these tables are configurable, so you can configure this based on your workflow. So when you come in, you can change your workflow. You can use the electric if you need it, which most people will. And what you're able to do is configure this to your own workflow to get the maximum production for the least amount of effort. We don't want you living in the kitchen. We want you to come in, we want you to use it, we want you to produce, and we want you out so you can be selling and working on marketing and doing all the other important things of a business. So it's all about conducive utilization of the space so you can maximize your time.
Cool.
And I'll show you a little bit more. We got another mixer here, more dry food storage. We have other chest freezers that when people need it, we can turn these on for people as well. We have dry food storage as well. So like this is one, got an ice cream machine right here, but you can see in the back, there's a steamer that we have just sitting. This is more open dry food storage. We're not utilizing it all right now, but it's there for additional capacity. For as we continue to grow, or an entrepreneur needs it, we've got it for them. And then another dry food storage area. I kept these little office units, if you will, so if someone wanted to grow to the point where they want to lease the whole thing up, they can as well.
Sweet.
And then right over here, Ben, kind of end of the tour of the facility is another dry food storage as well, with a door that could be lockable down the road. Cameras everywhere, so again, everything's open, and there's that trust that establishes from day one with that entrepreneur. And that's one of the key things to the ecosystem, is you build that trust from day one, and what people do is they then trust each other. And then they work with each other to do really cool things.
Cool. So not only is MSP Kitchenery a commercial kitchen, it also serves the community as a type of incubator.
You're exactly right. That's what we are, is we help people go from idea to execution.
Curious, is there anything that entrepreneurs need to bring, anything that's not supplied that they need to just factor in, make sure that they're bringing day one or day two whenever they're getting into production?
Great question, Ben, and thank you for asking that. Yes, smallwares is what they would call it in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
So any kind of spoons or spatulas or mixing bowls or that kind of thing, we don't provide that. That's on the entrepreneur. They can bring it in or they can store it here. It's totally up to them and what they've worked out with the health department.
Cool. Sounds good. One more kind of like tour-oriented question.
Yep.
For food entrepreneurs out there,
Yep.
what steps can they take if they want to learn more about doing production at MSP Kitchenery?
Awesome. So the very first thing is to go to our website, mspkitchenery.com. Google kitchens near me will pop up. And that's the biggest thing. Kind of read over. We're not all the same. I'm not better than anyone at all in this ecosystem. I'm different. The way we conduct our business is different. It's not right for everybody. But if you educate yourself and look at our website and just go to the ecosystem and check out all the other kitchens that are out there, I really recommend it. We've got a cool ecosystem here in Minnesota. But the way we do things is very tech enabled and very driven towards that end of business. And tech isn't for everybody. So, but if that is something that resonates for you, check out our website, look at it in detail, tells a little bit of our story, what we believe in. Look at the entrepreneurs that we work with. There's a good chance that you probably know some of the entrepreneurs that are already utilizing one of our kitchens. We've got one here in Hopkins, one at St. Paul, one at Plymouth. And so ask them as well. And then I'd recommend just going out and looking at other kitchens. I think educating yourself is one of the most intelligent things you can do in any business. That way you understand what the nuances are. The more you understand about what you're looking for, the more you'll realize when you get and you find it. And so what I'd really recommend is just checking that out as well. Once you've done all those things, reach out. Just a phone call away. If you call, you'll get me. And I'm more than happy to walk you through any other questions that you might have.
Awesome. Thanks for that. All right. You have answered all of my questions, John. Thank you so much for showing us around MSP Kitchen today. Maybe some other time we can check out the other locations, because we're in Hopkins today.
Yep.
You also have a location in St. Paul and Plymouth.
And in Plymouth, yes, absolutely. Would love to have you anytime you want.